Welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm recording this one after watching my favourite match of the Abu Dhabi WTA event, which was played between Ekaterina Alexandrova and Elena Svitolina. In this video I'm just going to be previewing and predicting the four last 8 matches, kicking things off with what is a fantastic clash on paper, a complete 50-50 between the number 1 seed Sofia Kenin and the banging form Maria Sakkari. Just on Sofia Kenin, everything that brought her success in 2020, that mental strength, the all-round game style that was very consistent, not bringing unforced errors. The cross-court backhand, the first serve has not really worked so well at Abu Dhabi. It is still very early in 2021 and it might just take Sofia Kenin a good few matches to fully warm up and start playing the best tennis, but I do think she's been disappointing so far. Her level certainly hasn't been what it was last year, but she's still in the draw and that's all that matters. Sofia Kenin, I've praised her many times on the channel for her mental strength, her ability to come back from losing positions, her ability to play her best tennis in the biggest moments and win deciding sets. And she's had to do that this week. She was a set down to Kirsten Flipkens in the previous round before that horror injury. She was a set down against Yulia Putintseva, but she produced a very good tennis in that second set tie break and then went on to win it in the third. I don't think she played particularly well at all today. She made lots of unforced errors again, double faults, but she found the cross-court backhand and the first serves when she needed them, and at the end of the day she's in the next round. And Kenin's a player that we've found plays better as the tournaments progress. I think the more pressure on Sofia Kenin and the better the opponent, the better Kenin we see, but she's going to have to play a lot better in the last 8 against Maria Sakkari, who is in some of the form of her life. She's playing some outstanding aggressive tennis. She's yet to lose a set at this Abu Dhabi event, beating Coco Gauff and Garbina Muguruza today in straight sets, which was just a fantastic win for Sakkari. Sakkari's a player that's got huge aggression. I think she's got one of the best first serves in the WTA. She's got a monster forehand, a fantastic cross-court backhand, good touches at the net. And I've said about Sakkari, I think for her it's about keeping it simple, focusing on getting the first serve in, focusing on returning well and just letting rip on every single short ball. And she done that again today against Garbina Muguruza. I mean, the stats were quite unbelievable at the end. I think she hit 33 winners to Muguruza's 5. And just talking a little bit about Muguruza, if I was to criticise Muguruza today, I don't think she was aggressive enough. It's difficult against Sakkari, but I think when you're up against an informed opponent, that you have to fight fire with fire sometimes. You have to try and push them back. Sakkari wasn't missing balls today really. She was finding the lines consistently, finding that depth, and she just beat Muguruza into submission at times. I think Muguruza is a better player when she tries to get in the forehand. She creates angles, she attacks the net, she keeps the point short, and she didn't really do any of that today. She didn't, as you can see by the stats, hit many clean winners at all. The match seemed to be on Sakkari's racket from a very early stage. Muguruza was too deep in the court. She was giving Sakkari too many short balls, and time again Sakkari just hammered forehands and backhands down the line and just beat the defensive Muguruza time after time. And Sakkari I've been critical of Sakkari in the past about her mental stability and her ability to have lulls in matches and just gift games away, but we haven't really seen that yet at this event. I think she closed the match out very well today. She's clearly a player that is confident in the game at the moment. She's believing that she can beat these top players, and in terms of predicting this match, it's very difficult. I think if you're looking at who's played the best tennis out of these two at this tournament, then it's hands down Maria Sakkari, no doubt. She's yet to drop a set. She's firing winners for fun. She's serving incredibly well. On the other hand, Sofia Kenin is not playing her best tennis by any stretch, but if you look at last year's results and the mental strength of Sofia Kenin and her ability to win tight sets and deciding sets and produce the best in tie breaks, then you can see Kenin winning. I am going to go with Maria Sakkari. I just think she's the informed player. I think that win over Garbina Muguruza will just do a world of good for her confidence. She's playing incredible tennis so far this week, hitting 30 plus winners in a couple of matches, and that forehand and backhand, if she can continue to produce that, then I don't see Kenin having enough to stop her. I do expect Kenin to play a lot better in this match. He's going to have to. But yeah, Kenin's second serve seems to be a real problem, and Sakkari's returning incredibly well, I think, at this event, and I think that could be a pivotal point. But Sakkari's got to keep producing this form now. We've seen in the past that she's produced this form and then had a couple of tournaments where she hits far too many enforced errors and makes the game so complicated for the weapons that she's got. But if she can continue to produce the form she's shown this week, then I think she beats Sofia Kenin tomorrow, but that will be a fantastic clash. Moving on to Aryna Sabalenka against Elena Rybakina, and this Sabalenka against Jabeur match was disappointing. Jabeur never really turned up. I don't even think Sabalenka played her absolute best, but she didn't need to. I think she played pretty well in the first set, very aggressive, hit lots of winners. But in the second set, even Sabalenka gifted breaks to Jabeur with double faults and unforced errors, and Jabeur never really looked in the match. She didn't believe that she could win, and it was a case of just gifting breaks to each other in that second set, which Sabalenka eventually took. I think it was 6-4, but it wasn't a fantastic match to watch. But the roll continues for Sabalenka. 12 matches unbeaten now, which is a fantastic streak for her. But she's up against a player that I think is capable of being a top 5 player in the very near future, in Elena Rybakina, and I've watched her in great detail this match, and every time I watch her I become more and more impressed with her game. She's got a fantastic first serve, the forehand, the backhand, the net play, the speed around the court, and movement, everything just looks on point. It's just a very complete game style. She looks confident in every stroke, and she just plays outstanding tennis. It sounds pretty simple, but Rybakina has just become a fantastic player in my opinion. She's only 21-year-old, but her complete game has got to trouble many players, and I think the run might come to an end for Sabalenka here. I don't think she's played fantastically well in Abu Dhabi yet. We know she's capable of finding that forehand and first serve, and that 12-match winning streak suggests that she has played a lot better than what I've maybe given her credit for. But I know how well Sabalenka can play. I don't think we've seen that yet, but that may be because she hasn't had to find that level. But I just think Rybakina, her game looks so complete, and I thought she was fantastic against Kasatkina today when I watched her, and I think she's in a rich vein of form. Rybakina, I think she knocks out Sabalenka and progresses to the semi-finals, and also I think she'll be a top 5 WTA player within the next year or two. I think she's bursting onto the scene, and at just 21-year-old, she has no real flaws in the game, and she's just playing some fantastic aggressive tennis. Moving on now to Marta Kostyuk against Sara Sorribes Tormo. Kostyuk's a player that I haven't seen a great deal of, I must admit. I know she was very highly regarded as a junior. She won the Junior Australian Open. She gave Naomi Osaka a very good match last year's US Open, and I remember Osaka saying after that match that if she's just good at 18, she's going to be frighteningly good in a few years. And obviously Osaka has been proven right with Kostyuk reaching the quarterfinal of a WTA event. It's a fantastic achievement for an 18-year-old. I have seen one of her matches so far this week, and I was impressed. A very aggressive game style. She seems to hit the lines a lot. She's very quick around the court. She's got a consistently good first serve. And it's a fantastic chance for her to reach her first ever WTA semi-final against the Spaniard Sorribes Tormo. And a lot of people are critical of Sorribes Tormo. She doesn't hit many clean winners, and she might not be the most entertaining to watch, but I quite like Sorribes Tormo. I think she's up against the top players on hard court, and she does very well with the weapons that she's got, in my opinion. She's a player that really trusts the process. She knows what her strengths are, and she sticks to them. She's got incredible fighting spirit, very good defence. She's a good counter puncher. She gets a lot of balls back in court. She loves to win, and she fights for every ball, and she's got good variations. She has got good spin on her shot. She can switch up the pace. She's got a very nice backhand slice. She's handy around the net, quickly getting down to balls, and got good hands. And I think all around, I'm sure Sorribes Tormo would like a little bit more power on his shots and be able to hit a few more clean winners and make life a little bit easier on the hard courts. But she doesn't have those weapons, and she's not a player that, you know, tries to overhit and tries to massive clean winners. She's a player that knows what her strengths are and she sticks to those, and you know, it's got her to a quarter final of a WTA hardcourt event, which I think is a big achievement for her. She's obviously a player that's a lot better suited to clay courts, and I don't think hard court is, you know, suited to the game style of Sorribes Tormo. And I think, you know, Kostyuk, I will predict to win this one. I think her game's just more suited to a hard court, being more aggressive and having the bigger weighted shot. But, you know, she'll be made to fight. Sorribes Tormo will be, you know, running down every ball. She's, as I say, got that incredible defence and fighting spirit. And, yeah, Kostyuk will be made to work very, very hard for this win. But I do think she'll get over the line. Just have that bigger weighted shot and probably win more free points in the first serves. Moving on to Kudermetova against Elina Svitolina. Kudermetova again was a player that I haven't seen too much of, a young Russian player. I did watch it today and I was, you know, very impressed by the first serve in particular. I know it's been recorded as something 170 mile an hour, but which must be one of the quickest in the WTA. His second serve is also very aggressive, which naturally brings a lot of double faults. She has a big aggressive game style, you know, in forehand and backhand, which on a going day can work, and you can blow, you know, people off the court very, very quickly on a quick hard court, which we have got in Abu Dhabi. But up against a player like Elina Svitolina, who's got that fantastic movement, defence, variations, and power of her own, I do think you have to make Svitolina a big favourite. Just talking a little bit about Svitolina against Alexandrova match, it was fantastically good. I thought Svitolina would dispatch Alexandrova pretty quickly, and it looked like that was going to be the case, as she won the first set very comfortably. From then on, yeah, the pressure seemed to come off Alexandrova. She hit with freedom. She found the forehands down the line, the backhands and the drop shots, and you know, Alexandrova's got real immense power and hitting ability from the back of the court. One slight criticism of Svitolina, I do think she dropped too deep on too many occasions. You know, a little bit like Muguruza did against Sakkari. I think Svitolina had to get up in the baseline more, had to try and attack the net and try and hit her own clean winners. She was just sort of waiting for the errors of Alexandrova's racket, and you could see from midway through that second set that Alexandrova was timing the ball very well. She was confident she was going to hit the lines, and Svitolina didn't really have any answers. It was just, you were just sort of waiting for the Alexandrova winner, and you know, Svitolina didn't impose herself in the match enough and try and attack the net. You know, she had opportunities where she was attacking a short ball and Alexandrova was on the run and deep, but Svitolina just refused to come into the net. Alexandrova served for the match, but Svitolina used all that experience, determination, fight, defence to forced a tie break, and Svitolina did eventually take it 10-8 after Alexandrova had missed 2 match points. And yeah, I'm a massive fan of Svitolina. I love her game style, the fact that she's just got an all-round fantastic game. You know, a little bit like Rybakina. I think Rybakina makes a few more enforced errors, probably a little bit more aggressive than Svitolina, but Svitolina's technique and, you know, backhand, forehand, first serve, everything about the games looks brilliant at the moment. And I did make my pick for the Abu Dhabi Open, so my pick is still alive. But yeah, they're my picks for the last 8 matches. I think it'll be Elina Svitolina, Marta Kostyuk, Elena Rybakina and Maria Sakkari, who will progress to the semi-finals. Do follow me on Twitter as well. I am covering the tournament on my Twitter account, so I will leave a link to that in the description below, and do also leave your predictions for the last 8 matches in the comments. Thanks for watching another video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you for the semi-finals.